The Swaddle presents Why South Indian Films Are Redefining Cinema. In 2021, Pushpa, a Telugu language action movie, was the highest grossing film in India. In fact, 8 out of the 10 highest grossing Indian movies were Telugu or Tamil, and only 2 Hindi. Until 2015, Indian cinema was dominated by Bollywood, with Hindi films contributing a major chunk of the total box office revenue. Occasionally, over the years, South Indian movies like Roja, Robot or Dukuru had become pan-India hits. But these were sporadic successes that didn't affect Bollywood's stronghold over mainstream Indian movies. However, since 2015, South Indian cinema's share has consistently increased. So what changed? The year was 2015. A Telugu language action film, Baahubali: The Beginning, was released. It was a mythological epic film made on a budget of 180 crore rupees. At that time, the most expensive Indian film ever made. The film's director, S.S. Rajamouli, was well known in Tollywood. And with a film of this scale, producers also saw the potential for a pan-India super hit. They collaborated with Bollywood distributors like Dharma Productions, dubbed the film into multiple Indian languages, including Hindi, and released it in a record 1,500 plus screens. With the world's largest movie poster and all kinds of movie merchandise, the marketing team aimed to create a pan-Indian fan culture around the movie. But more than any marketing strategy, what made Baahubali one of the highest grossing films of all time was its content. Baahubali was the ultimate Masala blockbuster. Blockbusters are films catering to the masses, with a focus on high production value, exotic locations and cinematography, visual effects and action sequences, and a general investment in the content of the film. With Baahubali, what punched this up further was a heavy investment in VFX, which took the film to a level beyond the Hindi Masala movies being made at that time. Baahubali's success made Bollywood producers and national distributors turn their attention to what they saw as a new genre of masala films with massive pan-India potential. But though they might have taken notice for the first time, visual effects-heavy mythology-based masala movies have been a staple of Tollywood films, right from the 1957 classic Maya Bazaar, which, fun fact, was one of the influences for Baahubali. What did happen with Baahubali for the first time, though, was the creation of a new formula for a pan-India blockbuster. From 2015 onwards, many South Indian films like Saho, KGF and RRR began to follow this formula, meaning that they were created in classic masala movie style, then dubbed into multiple languages and distributed across the country via a pan-India distribution and marketing strategy. Today, the nationwide appeal of these films is so high that Bollywood superstars like Ajay Devgan, Alia Bhatt and Amitabh Bachchan have all started making appearances in these big-ticket South Indian films. But that does raise an important question. How did a pan-Indian audience end up preferring dubbed South Indian movies
शेर अकेला ही आता है
over films made in the primary languages they speak? A look at the history of dubbed South Indian movies takes us back into the era of satellite channels and the internet boom. With the coming of YouTube and 24/7 TV channels, the demand for entertaining content also increased. In his research paper, media scholar Dr. Subhash Kumar showed how in the early 2000s, satellite channels like Setmax adopted a new strategy. They bought out Indian films and produced dubbed versions to air on their channels because these films were easier to acquire and cheaper than Bollywood ones. Indian audiences in the last 2 decades, therefore, grew accustomed to watching dubbed versions of South Indian films.
चाहे मेरे प्राण ही क्यों ना चले जाएं।
किसने कहा कि मैं फाइट करने के लिए आया हूँ? मैं तो नाचने गाने के लिए आया हूँ।
तो नाचना। नाचना। ठीक है।
Interestingly, even back then, the kind of South Indian films that channels went for were action-packed masala movies, priming audiences for watching dubbed South Indian masala blockbusters even in theatres. But there are other factors at play which have made national producers and distributors turn to these South Indian masala films in a big way in the past few years. The first is the unsustainable business model of Bollywood blockbusters. Since the 1990s and especially in the early 2000s, Bollywood blockbusters began relying heavily on the presence of male superstars, often at the cost of investing in other parts of the production process. According to film trade analyst Komal Nahata, a large part of the total production budget in Bollywood often goes on the fees of stars. Big stars like Salman Khan and Akshay Kumar sometimes charge 50 to 100 crore rupees per film and demand a share in the profits too. This makes the production model quite unsustainable because investment in the presence of a star supersedes investment in the content of the film, thereby leading to massive production budgets with no guarantee of dividends. The pitfalls of this star-centric model became evident when Bollywood films with the big superstars began flopping. The Telugu film industry too suffered from similar problems, until a meeting in 2010 where the Telugu Film Producers Council decided to tighten budgets and mandate accountability. With Baahubali, for example, the highest investment was on visual effects, which reportedly cost 85 crore rupees. This makes the South Indian masala blockbuster a more sustainable alternative to Bollywood masala blockbusters, at least for the time being. In an interview with The Quint, Prasant Neel, the director of KGF, also emphasized that South Indian films achieved pan-India success because of their focus on the story and the emotion behind the film.
And the emotion has remained very universal through all these movies.
Another factor explaining the success of South Indian blockbusters is the rise of OTT platforms. Around the world, the rise of OTT and the easy accessibility of watching films at home has changed audiences' viewing habits. With theatres being shut for so many months during the global pandemic, the preference for watching films at home has only increased. This has also exponentially increased the importance of the blockbuster genre. The heavy visuals and sound, VFX, tight storylines and dialogues
पुष्पा नाम सुन के फ्लावर समझे क्या?
are seen as an important part of a package that will actually push audiences to watch movies in theatres. The YouTube channel Abhi and Niu explained how South Indian blockbusters like RRR and KGF 2 have led the post-pandemic resurgence of cinema halls. Watching them is an experience in itself. But here's the thing. While South Indian masala movies might be innovative and experimental in terms of production value, when we analyze their actual stories and themes, we find a dangerous emphasis on extreme violence, toxic masculinity, hero worship, and traditional gender norms. We need to critically interrogate the themes of these films and the message they send to audiences. On the flip side, if there's one thing that the success of these movies shows us, it is that Indian cinema is not limited to Bollywood. We have a variety of regional film industries which have existed for almost as long as Bollywood. They have unique attributes that could reach pan-India success if they receive the same marketing and distribution as South Indian masala movies do. So maybe, instead of emulating the trend of making masala-style blockbusters leading to the homogenization of cinema, this could become a moment of reckoning with the diversity in Indian cinema. It could be a chance for a variety of film forms to break into the mainstream, expanding our ideas of what Indian cinema is capable of.